Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. So I'm on with a flip through of my Christmas journal, which is a design team project for the lovely ladies at Whichcraft Do You Do. So it's my project for November, and for this I did use bits and pieces of 5 of their beautiful digital kits. So they are the Christmas Papers Set 1, the Christmas Images and Ephemera Set 1, Vintage Pages and Ephemera Collection Set 1, the Vintage Ads Set 1, and the Words Collection 1. So I will link the individual kits that I've used down below. So if you see anything you really love, you can go straight to that kit. But I'll also link Whichcraft Do You Do's shop down below as well. So you can check out all the digitals that they've got and all the other goodies at the shop as well, in case you want to buy yourself a Christmas present like I just did for the Black Friday sales. So I'm waiting for that now. Okay, so this is my Christmas journal. It is a book cover. It is a Oxford Dictionary cover. Now, you can see this beautiful ornate cover here. Initially, I wanted to use one of these beautiful ornate covers as the whole cover, but every time I gutted them, they kept cracking down in the crease here, which was devastating. And I think I went through about 3 covers. And then I found one that didn't fall apart immediately. So I was prepping that to use, but the more I fiddled with it, the more it started to fall apart. So, and that was right at the end when I had to have this sort of done. So I didn't quite know what to do. I was going to put a new spine in and extend it and everything. But then I was sitting and eating tea and I saw this dictionary cover and I thought, I think that's just about the right width. And so I just stuck the ornate cover on top of this book cover. And it's worked all right. I've got some lace here and I've just put a bit of red fabric over the raw edge there to cover it over. So just to cover the words that were here, I've just put some beautiful Christmas fabric. I've got a bit of lace and I've got a little dangle here. And that is the one of the embellishments from the embellishment kit that I made in one of my videos, and I'll link the 2 videos that I did on making some of the bits and pieces for this down below as well. I made this little dangle embellishment and I used some Mod Podge on those, some of the dimensional magic. So I'm going to take this off because what I have realised is I can't stand dangles. They annoy me. So I'll just remove that. So it's just plain on the back. So here's 2 signatures, 2 nice big fat bulky signatures. And I've used the Christmas papers to line the front and back covers, and I've used them for pages within as well. They're absolutely beautiful. Got some beautiful Christmas fabric here as well, and I've used lots of this lace, which I found recently. It's a vintage lace, and I've cut it down to put on the edges of my signature start and end pages, just so that you don't notice as much that I didn't cut my pages down. So, yeah, that hides that quite well. And I've just used all the offcuts here and there. So I did show the making of this page on one of my videos. So I've used one of the beautiful tags and I made a little journaling card there, and I've just backed that with the tea dyed paper. So I did tea dye the vintage ads and the vintage pages and ephemera. And I sprayed all the bits of ephemera with tea dye as well, and the book page pieces that I used just to give them a bit of a vintage vibe. So here's one of the Victorian book page pieces that I've used a lot of in here, and I've just backed them with tea dyed paper. This kit piece, and I've used some of the beautiful seam binding that I got from Whichcraft. Well, Velita gave me, but it was from Whichcraft Do You Do. They have stacks of seam binding in the shop, so... and the words here came out of the vintage book as well. This came out of a placemat. Beautiful. So, yeah, I used a few of them in here. Vintage Christmas book page. And because I had to hinge that, because it was quite fragile, I wanted to cover the paper hinge that I used. So I used some of the vintage pages and ephemera there. I love the look of that. And that can be covered or can be written on even. So I've used some of this beautiful Hessian trim here as a tuck spot for this. It's a page out of an Australian home journal from 1960, and it's got an advert for more money for Christmas. We all need more money for Christmas, don't we? So I thought I'd tuck that in there. I've used a bit of authentic ephemera in here that I've pulled from bits and pieces, and I've tried to not stick it in anywhere so that if you want you can take it out and use it in your own journals or stick it somewhere else in this one. Some almost antique or antique. It's very old book page here. Music book. That's Christmas music too. I've done a bit of stenciling throughout. Tuck the page over to create a little tuck here. It's just a little bit of paper that I found in a recent haul. Little receipt paper. It's from a school. It's for making sure you return articles that you borrow. I thought all kids need reminders of that during the Christmas holidays. So it's one of the beautiful adverts that I've stuck in there. I just used some of the vintage ads that I thought were great for a Christmas themed journal. I love those sets, the vintage ads and the words and the vintage pages and ephemera. You can use them in all sorts of different journals, so they'll come in handy in the future. It's another one of the book page pictures. Some beautiful vintage, I don't know if you call that your broderie, anglaise or whatever, anglais or however you say it. Beautiful picture. And I've used one of the words, it says spirit there, just backed onto material. That's one of the negatives of some punches that I did for another project. I've cut heaps of these dates, calendar dates out of a book that I have here, and I've got stacks of them, so I rated all the December ones for this project. Got one of the Tim Holtz flashcards, and that has spirit and peace on it. And then I've got the beautiful girl on a tag here as well. Now, with most of the tags and journaling cards, I've just backed them with tea-dyed paper, so they're still quite thin, but that made sure that I didn't bulk the journal out any more than it already is, because it was getting quite bulky as it is. So beautiful bits of napkin and lace. Little pocket there, and I've used one of the checks that came. I think it's a check, yeah. What's that for? New York Security and Trust Company. It's a nice little writing spot, bit of ephemera. It's a page from a December 1960 diary. Now this is a prepaid envelope from, I think that's 1998. So it's not the oldest, but I thought it's a nice bit of authentic ephemera to stick in there. Beautiful Christmas one. On the other side, I've got a doily tuck here with one of the ephemera pieces. And that's just got one of your little tags, present tags, and a little sticker that you stick on your presents. To from sticker. It's a Christmas postage stamp. It's another vintage page that I had hinged, so I backed it with some of the beautiful vintage page. Christmas tree. So that's the centre of the first signature. So I've sewn the signatures in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch just to make sure they stay in there because they're quite heavy. Stenciling and some raffle tickets. Whenever I'm near a raffle, I always try and run around and salvage the used tickets. And I've got them all sorted into colours. So I found red and green ones, thought that'd be a nice addition. So it's one of the word embellishments that I made in one of my videos. So the words kit has piles of words printed out on all different backgrounds. So they're great for all sorts of journals. So I've used a few of them in here. I made a book page tuck spot, like a triple tuck here. And in the back there's a book page that I found about traditional Christmas fare. Just slip that in there. There's the waiter delivering his traditional Christmas fare. Looks like he's got a Christmas pudding there. That's back to right on. And then in the bottom one, we've got the menu for Christmas. Celery soup, ox tongue a la Belgravia. I assume that's ox tongue gravy. And then here's just a journaling card out of the book as well that has pictures of, looks like dessert. It's making me hungry. So all of that's backed onto the beautiful Christmas pages. So I've just done a little pocket here, and I've stuck a little shiny star there. Thought it looked nice, and I fussy cut some of the holly from the paper just to stick up here. Put one of the little journal cards in there. So I kept the tags and journal cards quite plain because they're beautiful as they are. I wouldn't really want to do any more to those. Just add a topper and they're nice and pretty. So this is a piece of the Vintage Ads set one. So I just kept that as it was. I think I cut it in half or something, but it's absolutely beautiful, and they're all like great gifts for Christmas, your watches and rings and all that sort of stuff. So I thought that's a nice little writing spot. Just slipped it on with a paper clip. Another book page picture. And it looks like they're probably standing around the tree singing carols. So I put a bit of a Christmas carol down there. Now this is a beautiful vintage page from, I think it's a TV annual with all these famous, or a film annual. Very old. And the colour on it's gorgeous. So I thought I'd put that in. It's about Christmas memories. It's got Vivian Lee there. And stenciling. Now this pocket is made from some vintage Christmas wrap. When I went to pick up something off of Marketplace one day, the lady had a bag full of rubbish that she was going to throw out, and she asked me if maybe I'd use it. And I said, yep. So I brought it home, and one of them was this used Christmas wrap, and it's beautiful. So it's a bit wrinkly in that, but I don't mind. It's even got some of the old sticky tape on it, a bit of a tear in it, but made that into a little tuck spot here and put one of the tags in. And a little journaling card, and I just added a bit of a book spine piece there as a topper. One of the words there. And here are a couple of my holly leaves. Now they came out of the ephemera kit as well, and I showed a video how I embossed those, and they look like they've got dewdrops on them. And I just used a bit of bling there as the little berries. A picture of Father Christmas. So back to that one. That was another hinged vintage page. Now this was the doily that I cut the flower piece out of, so I made a fabric tuck out of that. I really love the picture of the candle and the colours in that. Beautiful embroidery. So I really wanted to utilise that. So you can still use the page underneath. And that's the back page. It's got some more of my holly there. I have to stick these leaves down a bit. They got a bit beaten up when I was sewing my signatures in. Had a bit of an issue when I punched the holes for this signature, and they went off centre just in a couple of the outside pages here. I hate that when you do all this work and embellish it all and then you punch the holes a bit crooked. Yeah. I was going to leave them, and then I thought no, and yeah, I cut the signature out and patched up the holes and repunched them and sewed it back in, but I think these just got a little wrinkled in the process. So that's the cover for the second signature. And I had this wooden embellishment just hanging around, and I thought it looked really nice there. And I hung a beautiful little charm on there. I think that charm might have come from Andrea. I've got a few pieces from the lovely Andrea. She's from Journal the Junk, Andrea. I'll link her down below as well. Go and check out her YouTube. She sent me a happy mail the other day. We did a bit of a swap. She sent me a few little Christmas charms. So I've used a few of her papers in here as well. So you back that onto some of the ephemera, vintage pages and ephemera. A bit of ephemera piece there. the Reindeer Rescue Incident Report. It's another one of the flowers from the placemat. So what happened was you might be able to see here where I punched the holes crooked just on a few of these outside pages. So what I did was cut another piece of this paper and stuck it over there to cover up the holes. It actually doesn't look too bad. I didn't bother patching over here because I don't think that looks too bad. And I patched over this page and did a bit of stenciling there. And you can't really notice the holes too bad there. And then a tiny, weeny little patch there. So that fixed that up nicely. So here is a doily embellishment that I made in a video as well, and I did ink over the doily here just to make that pattern. There's one of the beautiful ephemera pieces, and another book page journaling card, and just lining this page is some of my vintage, or that's antique German page. So that just sits in there, so it's a bit of a double tuck, that little doily. So a book page picture on charming Christmas presents, and a word that says the spirit of giving. That come out of the book as well. So here's my little tag book that I made in one of my videos as well, and it's just got some of the tags from the kit, and you can pull them out like that, so whoever gets this can rip them off and use them elsewhere in the book if they like. And then in here is this little to from card, and then one of the tags with some of the seam binding as a topper. So this is just a vintage page from the Victorian Railways that I have hanging around here somewhere. Bit of napkin. Says something about the workshop's manager here. Maybe it's the Elves Workshop. Paper bag with another picture. That's one of the adverts, and I've got another one of our little gift tags in there. Found lots of these little gift tags in the secondhand stores. I love using these as ephemera in the Christmas journals. It's another one of the beautiful embellishments, and I just used offcuts of my lace. And this is a page that Andrea gave me out of a beautiful, I think it was a Bible or something, but it's got like the dates, December the 15th and 14th and 13th there, and it's blank on the back, so it could be written on, and it slips under there really nicely. Beautiful picture of Santa Claus. It's a vintage doily I found in a secondhand store. Diary page from 1957. This is a napkin tuck spot. It's a page from Andrea from A Christmas Carol, and it looks so old. And it's so nicely browned around the edges. So I thought I'd put that in there. That has a bit of room on the bottom there too if you want to write on it, but it's quite brittle, so the pen would probably go through it. But it's a beautiful piece of paper. Now I've made some pockets for the centre of this signature here with this block here. I had a piece of material that has all these blocks with Christmas pictures on them. I thought they were beautiful and such a great size to stick in as a middle page so you can see the whole picture. And this has in it a newspaper piece. And it says, wishes you all a very happy Christmas. It's got a little bit of a tear there, very brittle. It's from 1955, December the 24th, 1955. So I won't unfold it. Whoever gets this can have a surprise looking at that. I don't want to break it anymore. Just think it's a beautiful piece of ephemera to add to this journal. Just a little banner that I made. The other page of that must be the workshop piece, maybe? Not sure. A receipt and expenditure page. So this is out of a book, and it is a treasury of Christmas past. Just clipped it on so it can be written on. Bit of napkin. Another book picture. So there's a lot of writing space in this one. Some stamps. Another one of the adverts. I've loved using the adverts and the vintage pages and ephemera just to add that vintage vibe to this without having to use all my authentic vintage ephemera in this. Can't give it all away. Yeah. So I've made this little circular embellishment piece with one of the ephemera pieces, and then this is cut out of it's a vintage postcard I have that I've copied, but it was ripped, so I just cut the circle out of it with a beautiful picture on it so I can still use it. And it's top tuck for this beautiful tag. It's just a book picture about December. You can read it if you're good. I'd need a magnifying glass. There's another advert. I put a couple of cocoa ones in there because I thought it's nice to have a nice warm... Well, if you live somewhere where it's winter for Christmas, you want your hot cocos. Not necessarily here in Australia, that's for sure. So beautiful book picture as a tuck spot and one of the journaling cards. So Merry Christmas ribbon. The glue, unfortunately, you can see through this, but fortunately I did only put it around the edges and not in the middle, so that was lucky. There's a book page picture, bit of seam binding and some lace. That's the wrapping paper that I've used to make this pocket again. Another one of the flash cards. This is a Christmas card list paper. That's from Andrea as well. So thank you so much, Andrea. It's been great. Very handy to have a few beautiful pieces to add to this. And I just made a little paper clip with one of my gift tags here. And then in this side I've used some more of that broderie there to make a little tuck spot, and I've got a vintage Christmas card here and it has been written on. It's still got the yucky sticky tape on it. I've added one of the ephemera pieces and I just made a little scrappy notepad. I love this idea, so I'm thinking I should grab a whole heap of my cards and make a stack of these so they're ready to go in future journals. And I have attached the paper just with some eyelets and threaded some of the ribbon through. I think that looks really cool. And yeah, it's been written on. I can't quite see who it's to, but it's from Ethel and Norman. So, and yeah, it's still got the grungy sticky tape on there. So I thought that was pretty cool. That just slips in there. Then on the back, I think I did this embellishment on video as well. It's just a gold doily that I have, a ephemera piece and some ribbon. And then I added this beautiful word piece as well. And then at the back, I've got this little Christmassy gift bag. And it's a tuck spot behind, so I've added this little, it's another one of the checks from the, be the vintage pages and ephemera set. So another writing spot. And then in the bag is one of the tags. There's a tag here. I got a whole heap of them when I bought some ephemera years ago from Marketplace. So I've kept all the tags that I got from that to use in my Christmas journals. A bit of baker's twine, another ephemera piece, one of these little gift tags. I've just added some of my beautiful little trim there and a bit of ribbon. So that is it for my Christmas journal for my design team project. I had stacks of fun with that. So thank you so much to Kerry and Renee and Anne at Whichcraft Do You Do for taking me on again. Heaps and heaps of fun. So go check out the shop, and if you like any of the kits that you saw in here, then they're all listed down below, so go and check them out. So happy crafting, everyone, and take care of yourselves. Bye.